It's time to get a win and put what we have going on behind us. The Eagles have to win this game.
Who's next up? I say it's Fiend Beats.
What is good, everybody? It's your man EC1. I know it's early. Man. Let me get my hat on. Okay. There we go. The Philadelphia Eagles have to win this game, man. It's early Sunday morning. I'm pumped. All right, I'm about to go driving soon. I think around 7 a.m. I'm going to go driving practice driving. Because if I have to drive Kevin Patullo out the building, I will. I have no problem getting my license and driving Kevin Patullo out the building wherever he needs to go if he gets fired. But I hope I don't have to do that. Because the truth is the Philadelphia Eagles should be better than what we have seen for the last 2 weeks. Matter of fact, the whole season. We know our coaches has been bailed out by the players. And we know our coaching has not put us in great positions, especially our players in great positions. It should not take you this many weeks to put a game plan together and find an identity with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. It should not take you this long to find a way to get Saquon Barkley, your offensive player of the year, a guy that almost was a MVP last year, had over 2,000 yards rushing. Okay, almost beat the Eric Dickerson record and should have went for it if you ask me. But it is what it is. It's time to put your big boy pants on, man. And I'm talking about Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni got to put their big boy pants on and go out there in Minnesota and get that job done. Because honestly, it don't matter what we do in the trade deadline. If your offense can't get it fixed, it don't mean nothing. Now, let's talk about the trade deadline a little bit, man. We're 1 week, I think 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. And there's been a lot of interesting names that I've seen. I think the Eagles need offensive help, especially if your offensive line is still struggling. Why not bring a guy like Wyatt? The offensive lineman for Cleveland, 30 years old, come in there. And I think would be a very good asset to what Stoutland wants. I think he would be a rental. But it's better than having Sua Peta and freaking Brett Toth as your guys. It wouldn't hurt, especially when Landon Dixon hasn't been healthy. We haven't been the same since Mekhi Becton. So that is a very interesting offensive line piece that I would keep my eye on because the Eagles definitely need offensive line help. We talked about the DBs, man. A guy like Britt from the Bengals. Cameron Britt or what not Cameron Britt, Britt, whatever his name is. 26 years old, was benched recently. A guy that I think could be a cheap option. You know, let's say you can't go get Denzel Ward, which would be my first priority. I would give up a second round pick and a player just to get him on board, man. I'll throw in Keely Ring, I'll throw in Adoree Jackson. But yeah, obviously Denzel Ward is my priority. But if you can't, then you go after a guy like Britt, a guy that I think the Bengals could possibly move on. Another guy that possibly could be moved on that's looking for a new home that maybe needs another change of scenery is Tyreek Woolen. Tyreek Woolen would be a great addition. I'm tired of people trying to compare him to Ringo. Ringo's horrible. And yes, I saw him cut his dreads off. It means nothing when your play still is... You can't really move and you have stiff arms. Okay? You have stiff legs. You have stiff hips. Okay? You can't tackle for shit. It means nothing. You can cut all your hair all you want. It doesn't change the fact that the player is still Keelan Ringo. But, wish him nothing but the best, I guess. There's a lot the Eagles can do. But it's going to be up to what we do today. Okay? The Philadelphia Eagles need to find a way to win this game. If you lose to Carson Wentz, you got to get someone fired after this game. There's no other way to look at it. And I think that when you look at it, I think Kevin Patullo's on a hot seat. A lot of people don't think he is. I think he is. He should be. If you lose to another game because of your inaccuracy of calling plays, and we see the same script and nothing has changed, all this mean about we have good vibes, okay. I got to see that. You know what I'm saying? Then there's no point in training for guys like a Bradley Chubb. There's no point in training for guys like Jalix Phillips. There's no point in doing that when you can't win because you still have struggles, man. The good news is we do get our number one cornerback in Quinyon Mitchell. I'm hoping he's 100%. I hope they're not rushing him. Jalen Carter looks like he's going to be playing, so that's huge. You get your big boy up in the front that can hopefully get pressure. You got to get pressure on Carson Wentz, and if you can get pressure on Carson Wentz, I don't care how good that offensive line is. I don't care how good the receiving core is. If the quarterback is that bad, and his name is Carson Wentz, and he only can look one way, he's done. It's a wrap. We know if you get pressure on Carson Wentz, he's not going to do nothing. So you got to get pressure on Carson Wentz. You got to make him fold. You got to make him uncomfortable. You got to get at him. You got to make him feel every pressure that you sent. I would love to see if Fangio is going to use Jahad Campbell in a defense type role, similar like what Michael Parsons is, where we're able to use him in different ways. But yeah, man, Nakobe Dean hopefully coming back in this game. I would love to see him. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about, bro.
Who's next up? I say it's Fiend Beats.